Hey guys, my name is Lyle Lovett, and I'm with the Board Game Mechanics. And today, we're going to take a look at a game all about zoning and being zoned out called Zoned Out. Zoned Out is a 2 to 4 player game. And just a side note, my name is not really Lyle Lovett. If you don't know who that is, look at the hair and then go to Google. It's a joke. It's a quarantine joke. Everybody's going batty in here. It is what it is. Back to the video. So Zoned Out is a 2 to 4 player game from Gray Fox Games. And in this game, players are trying to be the best city planner that they can be. They're trying to get different types of zones, commercial, residential, industrial. And they're trying to build buildings and skyscrapers to have the best section of town, I guess. It's done with these cool little cubes or building tiles, which are really fun. And yeah, that's enough talking about it. Let's go to the table, see how it plays. All right, so here's a game of Zoned Out, all set up for 2 players. To set up for 2 players, you're going to give each player a certain number of their building pieces, which look like this, based on the number of players. So on a 2 player, you're going to get all 5 or all 45. And a 3 player, you're going to get 5 less. And a 4 player, you're going to get 10 less. Then you're going to set up the town, the initial town. You're going to take 4 cards here, and you're going to put them with the parking lots in the center. And then you're going to put the downtown spaces on all 4 of those parking lots. You're going to give the first player 2 cards, second player and every other player 3 cards. And there's going to be 6 goal cards, which are here. Based on the number of players, you're going to either have 1 secret goal and so many public goals, or in a 2-player game, each player is going to get 2 private goals and there'll be 2 public goals out here. These are going to be in-game goals that everybody's going to get a score. So we're all going to know those, but yellow is not going to know these and pink is not going to know these. So that's it. All right. So since yellow has been designated to go first, their first turn is a little different. Then after that, the gameplay is going to be the same turn structure every single time. So yellow's first turn, they get to take their city planner, which is this little meeple guy, and they get to put it on 1 town space here. There are a couple restrictions. You can't place on a park, can't play in a parking lot, can't put it on a museum, and you can't go on a abandoned house, which there's none of that stuff. There's a park out here only, that's it. So I can go anywhere else that I want to. So I'm going to actually go right here on this space. All right, so that was their turn. Then they draw up to 3, and that's it. Now, starting with pink and every other turn going forward, we have normal turn structure, which we're going to be able to do. I'm only going to take a couple turns just so you can kind of see what's going on, and then I'll talk about ending game scoring, and then we'll go up to the top and see what we think about it. So what they're allowed to do is they can discard some of their cards and take a redraw token if they didn't like the cards they have. All these are going to be with certain amounts of negative points based on how many you have. Then if they don't want to do that, they can play a card. So let's see here. We're going to play a card. I'm going to, let's see. I will play this just so we can see some stuff. All right, so when you play a card, there are some rules. You have to put it on at least 1 space here. You can't go into another person's territory. You can't do 4 different squares. The restrictions are in the rulebook. I'm not going to dive into it too much, but just know there are some restrictions to how you can place. And then what you're going to do is you're going to place your city planner on the space of the card that is going to start your zone. So in this case, I have, what is this? Is this residential? I'm not sure which that one is. Might be commercial. So I think I have a commercial zone that I'm working on right there. All right, then at the end of their turn, they're going to draw a card. That's it, so they have 3 cards. All right, then back to yellow. I'm going to go ahead, I want to show you some stuff on what we can do here. So let's see. I'll play another card and then I'll make the other person build. So let's go here. So I'm going to go here and I will move my guy over here because I have to move a card. All right, then I draw a card. All right, back to this player. I'm actually going to build so you can see how that works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to build this industrial wild here. I'm going to jump over here. Now, when you move your city planner off of a zone, which I did, I went from this zone to this industrial zone, I can build. There are 3 different types of city blocks. There's a light, a medium, and a heavy congestion of buildings on a block. A light is 1 space high, medium is 2, heavy is 3. So in this case, there are 2 blocks here that I've zoned. So I have 1 that's a light, and I have 1, oh, this is pink, not yellow, whoops. So I have 1 that's light and 1 that's heavy. So I'll put the 1 that's light there and the heavy one here. And then what I'm going to do is I have to place a building in the town square of where I did my zone to start working on the skyscraper, which is basically going to be a building that's going to count for in-game points based on whoever has the most, the highest, so on and so forth. So we're all going to be working on building this together. So go right there, because I was in this quadrant right here. I left this quadrant, not where I end up, where I left from. Then we're going to score points. Points is the trickiest part here. It's still not difficult, but it can be trickier. So based on however many blocks you have built, which I've built 2, you're going to get some points. The points are in the rule book. You can check it out kind of right here. So that however many blocks you build, you get so many points. So for a 2 block, I get 3 points. So the points are these little coins here. So I would take 3 points. Then what you're going to do is you're going to either get positive or negative bonuses based on parking lots, abandoned houses, parks, and or museums. In a, I forget what that is, contiguous line or contiguous, I don't know how you say that word. So what that would mean is anything that is adjacent and continues in a line until it's broken up by another zone. So in this case, there's nothing this way. There's a park this way, which is 1 point. And there's a parking lot this way, which is -1, so I would get no additional bonus points, or I wouldn't lose any. So I get these 3 points, and that's the end of my turn. Then at the end of Pink's turn, they will draw a card. Then we're going to go back to yellow. We'll take one more turn with yellow, and then I'm going to kind of go over in-game scoring. So yellow is going to, I'm just going to discard, use a redraw. When you redraw, you can put 1, 2, or 3 cards from your hand to the bottom of the deck. I want to do all 3. Then you have to take one of these tokens. Going to be a negative point at the end of the game. And then I get to draw that many more cards, and then I get to take my turn like normal. So I'm yellow, so I'm actually going to place this guy right here. And I will move my guy over here. So my zone is getting bigger here. So that's the end of my turn. Move here. I'll take one more because I can't end it on the first player's turn because that's weird. So pink will take one more turn. Let's see, maybe we can do another zone. Yes, I'm going to do another zone. I will put it here. I'm going to cover up one, but that's fine. Then I'm going to move this guy here. And that's it. All right. So we're going to keep playing in this fashion until either one person's out of building pieces or you can't draw up to 3 cards. At that point, whoever triggers the end of the game, every other player gets one more turn. Then what we're going to do is we're going to score points. We're going to score all the gold cards. So this card would score all players. This card would score all players. If there's a tie for majorities, which I think I have a majority card here somewhere. So this is a majority. If there's a tie for the majority, everybody gets the points. So it's a friendly tie rule in this game. Then what we're going to do is we are going to score the skyscrapers. So say the skyscrapers kind of looked like this. Just go ahead and do this here. So there's that one. Then there would be this one like this. All right. So say this is how the skyscrapers ended. The way this works in a 2-player game is whoever has the most pieces on the skyscraper gets 5 points. Second place gets 1. So in this case, it would be yellow gets 5, pink gets 1, pink gets 5, yellow gets 1. If there's a tie, it's whoever has the highest one up. So if it was this on this one and it was 2, it would be pink that would get it because they have the tallest one. If for some reason in a 4-player game you only score first, second, and third, the 4th player doesn't get any points. They get 1 point for every piece that they have in the tower. So even if they didn't get the, I think it's 2 points or something for third, even if they didn't get that point, they may still get at least a point for having a piece in the skyscraper. So that's it. And then whoever has the most points is the winner. That's how you play Zoned Out, how you score for the most part. Let's go up to the top, see what they think about it. All right, well, that was Zoned Out. So first thing I want to say at the top of this is I wasn't sure if this was going to be a game that I enjoy, because there are very few city building, city planning type of games that I'm a fan of. And most of those are the heavier ones from like Album VR. So like Small City, Clinic, Town Center, those kinds of things. I like the big, heavy, crunchy ones that make my brain melt and make me hate life afterwards. I like those. And I know this one wasn't like that, but I was intrigued by the box. This is awesome. I like it. So I wanted to give it a shot. And let me say, I was pleasantly surprised. This is essentially a family weight city building game, which city building is in it, yes, but really what you're trying to do is you're connecting networks, zones, to try to have as many connections as you can, because you're going to get a pile of points for that. Let me show you what's in the rule book. So I showed this in the video a little bit, but if you can see here, I don't know how well you can see this, but if you see here, there's the blocks that you can have connected. Based on how big of a zone you have, you can get a pile of points. If you get 9, 45 points for that. 45! I mean, that's like half the game's points if you can do that. But you're going to spend a big chunk of the game doing that. 9 turns, at least. Probably, maybe less, but at least 9 turns to get that done. That's intense. All right. So let me tell you about some of the things that I enjoy about this. 1, I think that I like the push your luck. Now wait a minute. There's not push your luck in this game. Oh, but my friend, there is. So like I was saying about getting the 9 blocks, you think someone's just going to sit back and let you do that? No. They're going to come in and try to wreak havoc. So you're pushing your luck to see how long you can go to build those networks. It's a stretch, but I think that feeling is in there, because every turn you don't know what's going to happen. Are you going to be able to play that blue building down to make that 6 zone next turn? Someone going to come in with a different one and break that up, and it goes from 5 to 3. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's one of those things where it's tricky. It's tricky. So it's push your luck. I like that. That's cool, because I love push your luck. So now on a real note, in case you don't buy that one, I think you would be wrong, but whatever. On a real note, here's some things that I like. These bits are amazing. There's something really nice about a nice tactile game with pieces you can feel, pieces you can stack up on top of each other. Like, look at that. That's amazing. And now I have 2. And now I have 1. That's awesome. It didn't need to be like that. It could be chits or something. But having them where you can actually stack them up does help for like some of those in-game scoring cards where you need different, like light, medium, or heavy. However many of those that you've built, whoever has the most gets the most points. So it's easier to look at the board and say, hey, I have 7 1s, or 7 2 stacks, or 7 3 stacks, whatever. And it helps with the skyscraper because you can see the different colors and who has the most. It's nice. Second thing I like, bonus cards. I think having some of these out as goals, public goals. I couldn't think of the word for some reason. Public goals, and then everybody having their own goal is genius. I know there are other games that do that. I like it in those games too, but I'm talking about this game now. So for example, say my opponent has this goal. So score 1 victory point for each medium. So 2 size pink, 1 victory point for that. I just happen to be doing pink. I don't know why. Pink just worked out because that's what my cards were. I'm doing pink. I didn't know I was going to score this, but I get to score it. So I could get a pile of points because this is every one I have. If I have 12 of them, I get 12 points. I didn't know that was going to happen, so that could swing the game in my favor. I'm going to have goals that you didn't know about. But I might not even be trying to get my goal because I'm going a different path. Where my goal, just like that pink one I showed you, may work awesome for you. That's amazing. Second thing I like, or I guess third thing, fourth thing if you want to count pressure luck, are these cards. 1, I like the way the back looks. It's the same as the box cover, but I like it. 2, I really like the layout of these cards. Most of the cards are going to have a couple residentials. So in this one, it's 2 blues, and then there's some negatives or positive points, meaning a parking lot and or a museum or park. And it's all really easy to tell, except caveat, the 3 spaces So I'm gonna show you a comparison. So the top here is 3, and this is 1 blue. If you look at that, you can tell that it's blue because the building shape is the same. But if you're looking at it quickly, they threw in like some purple and some darker blue. So as it goes from 1 to 2 to 3 buildings, it gets darker. So it gets a little bit confusing. So you got to look at it maybe just an extra 3.7 seconds. Not a big deal, but just something to think about when you're trying to score. You may look at something and you might miss it because it looks a little different. So yeah, those are my pros, cons. I don't really have a lot of cons. I enjoy this game. It's fun. So on that note, I'm going to give it a rating. So Lyle Lovett and me, I guess I never introduced myself, Jason, are going to give this game a BGM accepted seal. And it's going to be a 7.5 out of 10 on BGG or a 3.75 out of 5 wrenches on our arbitrary scale. That means absolutely nothing. You don't get awards. You don't get trophies. You don't even get a real badge on the front of the box. It's a Photoshop thing that I make up and post on a group for our channel. But I like it. I like games. I like giving games that I like a seal. Makes me feel good. Makes me feel much better talking about a game that I like than games that I don't like. So yeah, you don't get anything for it, but it's enjoyable to me and Lyle. We both like it. So yeah, that was Zoned Out from Gray Fox. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.